Hey guys, today we're talking nitrous. I've gotten asked a lot of times by people, hey, make a nitrous video. Okay, I'll make a nitrous video. Here's your nitrous video. So, I don't like nitrous. There, I could end the video now, but I'm not. I'm gonna tell you why I don't like nitrous in these applications and tuning for it remotely. So nitrous on Coyote Mustangs is highly dependent on the end user, okay? If a guy orders a tune and says that I have nitrous kit, I usually ask him, do you have a window switch? Do you have a bottle heater? Do you have a standalone fuel system? Do you have the right injector? Do you have a fuel pump booster? Do you have a, all these things? And man, almost 75% of the time they go, no. All I have is a bottle, a line, and some wires. And I go, oh, okay, well, I would prefer you have a window switch so that it automatically comes on at 3,100 RPMs and off at 6,800 to 7,000, or a controller. Some of the better nitrous kits have a controller that does it all automatically. You don't have to do a damn thing. And I prefer you have either run excellent fuel. I prefer a bigger injector. I prefer a fuel pump voltage booster, aka a BAP, and a bottle heater so that you have, so you can monitor your pressure on your bottle, so you can have the right amount going in there and the right pressure. And a lot of people are just like, no, I don't have that. And that's the biggest problem with me and nitrous kits, is the end user, the customer, that tends to cheap out, because the thought process, in my opinion, is I'm gonna get nitrous because it's cheap. But after you price everything out that the tuner wants, the BAP, the bottle heater, the controller, the injector, the spark plugs, the colder plugs, potentially run race gas in a standalone fuel system, after you price all that out and you have to get it installed properly, 9 times out of 10, the wiring's jacked up, you're just putting shit anywhere and don't care, and then you just cheap out and say, I'm gonna put it on a button, I don't care. I'll tell him it has a window switch, I'll tell him it has everything he wants, just to shut him up so I can get a tune and go dragging some ass. That's when trouble happens. So that's my biggest issue with nitrous kits. It's the end user. The end user typically tends to cheap out because the thought process of nitrous is it's the cheapest power adder, so everything tends to be cheap. But there are people out there that are like very much into nitrous, very much into the whole inner workings of it, and are smart, and they get all the supporting mods, and those people are, boom, they're so easy to work with. Here you go, here's your tune, give me a watt hit, here's your nitrous tune, bye. And then you see them on Facebook, Instagram, running, deep 10s, and you're just proud of them, really. But I don't get that often. And I'll give you an example. This gentleman actually gave me permission I'm not going to say his name, but I gave me permission to tell his story. So a gentleman ordered a tune for a 150 shot recently, and I said, oh great, okay, do you have all the supporting mods? And he was like, yeah. He was a little vague about it. He was like, yeah, I totally have the supporting mods. Okay, cool. What plugs are you running? I'm running the stock plugs. I go, oh crap, I mean, can you get colder plugs? If you do, just, bring the gap down a little bit and run maybe a 75 shot to get us, tuning. He's like, okay, no problem. So I get him a 93 performance tune. He did have a fuel pump voltage booster, so I get him all squared away there. And then I sent him a bass tune with some timing pulled out and ran it a little richer. And I said, hey, give me a wide open throttle hit with this tune, no nitrous. Well, he used nitrous, and I don't know if he gapped the plugs right or not, but whatever. He used nitrous on the tune I told him not to use nitrous in. Why? Because I want to see the data log back to make sure it's seeing the correct timing, the correct spark, the correct everything. These cars are kind of funky, so you kind of have to hack your way around shit. So, sure enough, he used nitrous, and I think he used a full 150 shot, and I think he burned up every freaking plug. All the plug straps were basically melted and touching, and the car misfired, and there goes the engine. Bye-bye. And he called, he felt terrible. I felt terrible for him, but I told him it said no nitrous in all capital letters. He's like, I know, I'm fucking stupid. I go, it's okay, we'll figure it out. Gave him some advice, send him on his way. That's the biggest issue with nitrous. It tends to be the cheap power adder, and the thought process around the whole power adder is cheap. Now, does nitrous work? Absolutely. Look, if you know what you're doing, if you know how to install it, wiring it, have the window switch, have the right fuel and everything, it is not an issue. You know who loves nitrous? Is the Saudi Arabian people, the Kuwait, look, Dubai, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, Cutter, Qatar. Those guys live on nitrous. And I've never come across a guy that blew it up, because what did they do? They go overkill. I mean, they go overkill. They get a standalone fuel system with MS-109 or something with the same stoic, you know, like race gas or Sunoco 260 GT, which is like 104. They put that in a standalone fuel system, and it's a wet shot, and it feeds off of that fuel system. And I go, thank goodness, these guys get it. They totally get it. They get a window switch, they get a bottle heater, they get a remote bottle opener, they get all the controller, they get all that stuff. And those cars tend to, and you know what, they do like highway racing. They like leave the nitrous on, they have like 5 bottles in the back, and they just, and you never really hear them blowing up or anything like that, especially our customers. So nitrous works on these cars, but after you price out what you need to make the nitrous work properly, you're going to be into it for about $2 grand, maybe more, because you need the heater, the controller, everything I ask you to do, the right wiring, everything, the way everything is going to run you a decent amount of money. And 9 times out of 10, I tell people, look, if you're going to cheap out on stuff, don't cheap out on nitrous, because you need so many things for it to work properly, for the tuner to be happy, and for your car to run the way we think it should. So that's my main issue with nitrous. It works. A lot of guys can go mid-10s on a stick car, no problem with a 150 shot. Automatic guys I've seen have gone a deep 10 if they have a converter and they have all the right nitrous supporting modifications. I'm not going to tell you which plug to get. I'm not going to tell you which this and then that, because it just, again, opens me up for ridicule, because you guys know everything in YouTube land. So that's my thoughts on nitrous. It's the cheap alternative, but after you price everything out properly and get everything that we ask you to do, it's not so cheap. And the biggest variable is you, the customer. Those are my thoughts. That's the video you guys requested. There you go. Talk to you guys later.